afternoon, good morning, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are watching us from. This is Atranos Media Tigray, broadcasting live from our studio in London. We are broadcasting on social media as well as Dedawit Media Satellite Television. Today's topic will be, as you can see it on the screen, I will be briefly talking about the four ways of the Ethiopian government manipulates the media, which has been broadcasted 3 days ago via the African Argument media outlet. And I will be also talking about the crisis in Tigray and about the action, the lack of action the international community is failing to act on the dictatorial regime of Ethiopia. So please bear with me until the end of the program. Those of you who are listening, please also help us by cascading this information via Twitter. We are broadcasting live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at the same time. So you can simply go to our YouTube, to Twitter account and share it to your followers. So before I start about the misinformation of the Ethiopian medias as well as the Ethiopian government, I will be talking about the four ways of the Ethiopian government manipulate the media. It has been reported, as I said, 3 days ago. The number one manipulation is a communication blackout. They are completely blocking the international community from listening and watching what is happening in Tigray. As those of you who have been following Tigray have been completely blacked out from any type of communication from the rest of the world, from the country for the last 1 year and a half. No banking, no telephone, no internet, no electricity, no water. And on the top of that, none of the humanitarian aid are being allowed to be delivered into Tigray. As you have recently heard it from the head of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom. He complained about for the Ethiopian government for refusing access to deliver medication to the land of Tigray. According to Dr. Tedros Adhanom, he clearly said, we never had any problem to deliver medication to the land of Afar in Amhara region, but it has become a problem to deliver medicine to Tigray. Why? Why? No matter whether there is a war or not, this cannot be a reason for the refusal of medication to deliver to Tigray. That's what he said, nothing else. He did not politicize the conversation at all. Even though he is from Tigray, he is very careful. He only said what he should be saying as a head of World Health Organization. He said, we never had any problem to deliver medication to Syria and other parts of the globe where there is a war. So what he said was, why are we not allowed to deliver medication to Tigray? And the Ethiopian government was shamefully complained and campaigned against Dr. Theodos and said he was politicizing. He was helping the government of Tigray. In what way was he helping the government of Tigray? Can anyone in the right mind tell me in what way was Dr. Tedros Adhanom helping the government of Tigray? In fact, he was only trying to help the people of Tigray, as well as he helps for the rest in any country in the world. His job is to make sure medication is delivered to the people who are suffering lack of medication. So the communication blackout is not only blocking all the infrastructures, also blocking access for any humanitarian aid not to be delivered in Tigray. The main purpose is because he wants this dictator, Tigrayans, to die of hunger, to die of due to a lack of medication. On the top of that, he is bombarding civilians via drones in any part of the Tigray, day in, day out. Our people are dying of hunger. Our people are dying of man-made hunger, I have to say. It is a man-made hunger that our people are suffering. It is not a natural disaster that we are suffering. It is a manipulated and fabricated hunger that has been made, designed by Amhara expansionist and the Ethiopian dictator. He has invited a foreign enemy to come and invade and kill his own people and invade his own land. We are being treated as a foreign enemy. A foreign enemy has been allowed to kill our people. Tigrayans are a citizen who just want to survive and live side by side with our neighbors peacefully. We know a troublemaker. We know troublemakers whatsoever. We have been doing so much for the country. We shouldn't be deserving this at all. If he has a problem with the government of Tigray, if the government of Ethiopia has got a problem with TPLF, that is a different matter. But the problem he has is not only with TPLF, it is with the people of Tigray. He has proved himself in the previous 15 months. He was not against TPLF only, he was against the entire Tigrayans. Why did he kill innocent men and women if he was only after TPLF? Why did he allow his troops to kill and throw their bodies into cliffs of Tigray if he was only against TPLF? Why did he allow the dictator of Eritrea to come and rape and gang rape our daughters and mothers if he was only having a problem with TPLF? Why did he invite so many foreign enemies to come and commit genocidal crime in Tigray? The recent news that you heard, Somalian armies, we knew Somalian armies were in Tigray. We've said it so many times, but none of the international community wanted to believe. The Ethiopian government was completely dismissing the case. Not only Somalians, he was dismissing the case for the involvement of Eritrean armies, but obviously after so many international pressures, he finally admitted, and Somalian armies have committed heinous and very, very, very unforgettable crime on our people. It has been reported just about 2 weeks ago. So the communication blackout, on the top of the communication blackout, he is also blocking access for any kind of medication and humanitarian aid not to be delivered in Tigray, because he wants our people to completely be wiped from the surface of the earth. That is communication about blackout. The number two that has been mentioned on the African argument is policing international coverage. Obviously, international coverage has been completely refused. It was not easy to come and broadcast what is happening in Ethiopia. All the journalists have been completely stopped from doing what they should be doing. Many journalists have been banned from they were doing, and they were also arrested. On July 2021, 15 journalists have been arrested, and some of them have released, some of them are still in prison, and some of them have been completely told off not to do anything that kind in Ethiopia. So the only media that are allowed to broadcast are the pro-government media, 4 media in Ethiopia, and 1 media in the US, which is ISAT from US, EBC and ATV, the government media, and Walter and Fana are also pro-government media. They have been financed by the government of Ethiopia. So they are only reporting what the Ethiopian government wants them to report. They are only helping them falsifying. Our leaders have been killed so many times by their medias. So policing the international coverage has become another problem in Ethiopia as well as in Tigray. Media outlets are not allowed to report what is happening in Tigray because the government he knows that he is hiding something from the international community, so he does not want what is happening to our people to be broadcasted by any media whatsoever. Any media who broadcasts what is happening in Tigray will be in trouble. They have been in trouble already. The third one was policing concerns. Humanitarian concerns was not allowed. They was completely blocking any humanitarian concern, any humanitarian organizations to come and investigate the problem. They were not allowed at all, completely. So no international community was allowed to get in and report what was happening. It was impossible. The fourth one was campaigning and criminalizing individuals. They were criminalizing as so many important people in the globe. They started with the Foreign Secretary of the United States, Anthony Blinken. They were saying that he was pro Tigray government. He was a supporter of the TPLF. They were stigmatizing Anthony Blinken and other well-known in the independent outlets, as well as very well-known people in the globe, like Anthony Blinken. And they also, as I said earlier on, they have been campaigning against the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros. This was a tactical way of hiding their crimes. They have to attack people who are telling the truth. They have to attack people who are telling them to do the right thing. So this was the one of their tactic by attacking international known organizations and individuals, by criminalizing them and saying that they are pro-Ethiopian, pro-Tigray government. So these are the four main topics that the African argument have broadcasted 3 days ago. The next one is Channel 4 News have been broadcasting a rape case that have been committed in the land of Amhara, specifically in Waldia. I am not saying the rape did not take place because I wasn't there. What I can say is, yes, again, the head of the Amnesty International, the senior investigator of Amnesty International, clearly said she have been blaming the government. They were not allowed, as big organization as Amnesty International, were not allowed to enter to the land of Amhara, where they believe a crime have been committed. A rape case has been, so many people have been gang raped. They could probably have become gang raped. The government was not having something to hide. Why was he not allowing the international community to come and investigate the problem and deliver it to the world? We're not saying the crime has not been committed. It could probably be committed, but taking the background of the Ethiopian government and the Eritrean government into consideration, their history into consideration, they always fabricate things. They commit the crime themselves, and they always pass the crime to somebody else. They have been wearing Ethiopian uniform. The Eritrean armies have been wearing Ethiopian armies uniform for many months, when they were hiding themselves, when they were not clear, when they were not clean that they have been involved in the war of Tigray, even though he finally admitted he is going to continue doing what he was doing because he knows the international community is not doing anything against him. So they have been known to wear Ethiopian army uniforms when they were raping girls in Tigray. When they were committing serious crimes in Tigray, they were wearing Ethiopian uniform. And vice versa. When the Amhara militia have been wearing Eritrean army's uniform, and the Ethiopian armies have been, the Eritrean armies have been wearing Ethiopian army's uniform, they exchange uniforms when they try to hide themselves from the crime they were committing. So we believe that is exactly what happened in the Amhara women. They probably could rape them, but they could probably hide their identity and tell them that they are from Tigray. I can assure you 100%, Tigrayan armies are survivors of crimes themselves. Tigrayan armies are the survivors of genocidal crime. Tigray armies are survivors of gang rape. So it is impossible for them to do the same thing to other people. They are fighting to stop from this crime from happening to anyone in the entire region. So I cannot believe for 1 second that is they could do that. If they were doing that, they have been in Amhara for many months. They could have killed all Amharas if that was what they were going to do. They did not kill a single person in the land of Amhara. Whatever has been destroyed and killed was completely designed by the Ethiopian government so that they can make it look like as if it was done by the Tigray government. In any case, whether what I'm saying is true or not, all I am saying is the independent organizations should be allowed to enter into Amhara and Tigray regions and investigate it for themselves and let the international community know who was the perpetrator. That's all I am saying. We cannot just listen from one fabricated media outlet who are very well known by fabricating the things day in, day out. In order for the international community to believe or to understand who was the one who was committing the crime, who was the victim and who was the perpetrator, we need to demand for the international community to enter into Tigray and Amhara region where the crimes are being committed to find out who was doing the crime, who was behind the crime. That's all we are demanding. If the Ethiopian government did not have anything to hide, why are they not allowing medias and in humanitarian organizations to get into the place where the crime is being committed and investigate it for themselves? Why? So many questions can be raised when the Ethiopian government tries to hide something. When they are not allowing independent organizations to get into Ethiopia and investigate it for themselves. Why do you think? Because the dictator, the Eritrean dictator and the Ethiopian dictators have got something to hide. They do not want anyone to know. The Ethiopian Human Rights Commission is the employee of Abiy Ahmed. He is only doing what he is being told to do. He has got his own agenda to achieve. So every time someone is dying, he is claiming it is Amhara. Everyone who a crime is being committed is always being the perpetrator is always from Tigray. Why do we have to listen to this propaganda? Why do we have to listen to one-sided individual who is sitting in the wrong office to achieve his own agenda? So we need still the international community to help us to demand for the Ethiopian government to allow independent medias as well as humanitarian organizations to get into Tigray and Amhara and investigate the crime and report it to the globe. Then we know who is committing the crime. If they say the Tigray Defense Force have been committing crime, we will accept it then because it has been verified by an independent organization who has got no side with any of them. Finally, I would like to say about the action that is missing from the international community, mainly from the United States government and the United Nations Security Council and the NATO's and other European countries. Why? The war has started on the 4th of November 2020. We are in February 2022. 1 year and a half long war, only waged on a population of 5 million who have done nothing wrong whatsoever. The crime, any individual would not even want to imagine has been committed in Tigray. Every crime, war crime, crime against humanity, genocide, rape, all these crimes have been committed in Tigray. Those of you who are listening and reading about the crime that has been committed in Tigray, Those reporters are the tips of the iceberg. We are not anywhere near to the truth. The actual truth has not come out yet because it has not been investigated properly. You are only hearing and reading the news that have been discovered by brave medias and the individuals. But there are so many things happening in Tigray as we speak. When Tigray is free from these invaders, when independent organizations are allowed to investigate the crime, when the victims are free to talk without being worried being attacked by the perpetrators, then the truth will come out. Without exaggeration, millions and millions are being killed and displaced in Tigray. We will find out when the war is over. And while this is happening, the international community is reluctant to call it by its name. They know genocidal crime has been committed, but the United Nations Security Council, the US government, is not brave enough to call it by its name. They're not calling it genocide. Why? Why are they not calling it genocide? What is the reason behind this reluctance? People are dying day in, day out. People are being killed and thrown into the river. People are being killed alive. Women, our daughters and mothers are gang raped. The Eritrean government, the Somalian government, as well as the Ethiopian government, plus 6 other countries are fighting against us. Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey are providing drones to kill the population of 5 million in Ethiopia. And the international community is still shy to stop this crime from happening. Why? 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 Are you going to say sorry at the end of this war as you did in Rwanda? Is that what you are going to say? Is that what is going to happen? In 21st century, where all the technologies are telling you what is happening in Tigray, there is no any justifiable reason for you to keep silence in this moment. Everything is being broadcasted. Everything is being witnessed by satellite images as well as brave journalists. So are you trying to say that you don't know what is happening in Tigray? You are allowing Isaias to kill our people. You are giving him a license to kill. Is that really justifiable reason for you to keep silence and do nothing when our people are dying and say sorry at the end as you like you did in Rwanda? We demand justice from the international community. We demand justice from United Nations Security Council. We need justice. You have to at least ask the Eritrean dictator to withdraw his troops from our land. He is making our life hell. He has trained his armies to rape, gang rape, and destroy our people. That is all his armies are doing in Tigray, nothing else. So the international community have to stop the talk and walk the walk. We need action. Action is missing. Talking about it, writing about it, making telephone conversation with dictators is not going to save our people. Our people need a proper action taken against these dictators. Or if you don't want to take action, leave us alone and we will face the battle ourselves. Don't help him. Don't supply drones. Don't encourage him to commit crime like he has been doing in the last 1 year and a half. The Eritrean dictator is not shy now to say he will continue fighting against our own people. Last year, this time, he was hiding from the war. He was not telling the truth. He was saying he was not part of the war. Now, because he knows no one is doing anything to what he's doing, he is clearly saying that he will continue battling against Tigrayans. Because he knows nothing is going to happen to him. One rule for another country, one for another rule for Tigray. Why? What did we do to deserve this? We are only demanding a justice. Our children are not going to school. Our Mothers and daughters are being gang raped. People are dying of hunger. The people are dying of this, the lack of medication, simple medication like diabetics are dying. No one should be dying from diabetic. Simple medication that is being blocked by the Ethiopian dictator. Our people are dying by all sorts of reasons. So we need the international community to intervene and take action before it is too late. If we don't want to take the action, then leave it for Abiy Ahmed to fight against us. We will deal with it. Don't help him. Do not supply drones and other weapons. If it was on his own, the war would have been over a long time ago. We were very close to enter Addis Ababa. You stopped us from entering. We said, yes, okay then. We were willing to talk. No one wants us to talk. Ethiopian government is not willing to talk. Whether you like it or not, if you are worried about the united Ethiopia, if you are worried about Ethiopia's unification, trust me, the longer Abiy Ahmed stays in power, the more Ethiopia will be divided and broken beyond repair. So the sooner Abiy Ahmed goes, the better for the country. Those of you who are worried about the united Ethiopia, Ethiopia will never be united under Abiy Ahmed's administration. He has to go. He is not good for anything at all. If you want Ethiopia to survive, Abiy Ahmed has to go. Those of you who think Tigrayans, if Abiy Ahmed kills Tigrayans, Ethiopia will survive, you are completely out of your mind. We will fight and fight and fight until the end. We are not an obstacle for the unification of Ethiopia. He is the one who is inviting foreign enemies to kill his own people. We are not. We are only fighting to survive from this war. We are not fighting to disintegrate Ethiopia. It is not in our best interest for the Ethiopia to be divided. He is the one who is dividing Ethiopia. Ethiopia was united and prosperous under the administration of EPRDF. This evil man came along and he is doing all the crimes in the country. Every crime is being committed up and down of the country. The recent news, if you had, there was a drone attack in his own people in Oromia. He's not only attacking Tigrayans, he's also attacking every part of Ethiopia. Ethiopians are killing each other under this enemy, this dictator. So the sooner Abiy Ahmed is removed from power, the better for Ethiopia. Those of you who are worried about the unification of Ethiopia. So please either take action or leave us alone to deal with the problem ourselves. This is all I can say for today. Those of you who have been listening, please cascade this information to as many members of the international community as possible. We will be back with a similar topic in a different time in due course. Until then, thank you very much for taking your valuable time to listen. I will be back next time. Thank you very much. شم نيركي فتم